thanks for tuning in for another episode of Unreal Talk. I'm still Brian. Last time I checked, that was Dave.
Aaron, go brah, bitches, it's St. Patty's Day.
Yep, regardless of when the fuck you see this episode, today was officially St. Patty's Day.
Right here I'm rocking my McAnally's brown bottle ale shirt. Irish green. Place isn't real, so it's from a book, though. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a fictitious Irish.
Faux Irish? I don't know if he's even human, but whatever. It's a pub.
Irish.
And he makes beer. Irish enough for me.
You know, there's a blood test they just announced where they could, like, determine how Irish you are with a blood test.
I think it's just a blood alcohol test.
That's exactly what I said. 'Cause Liz was telling me about that. And,
the police do those all the time.
Yeah, my wife was telling me about that. And, that's exactly what I said. It's like, what, is it a blood alcohol test? Because she was like, you can't determine genetics through, like that.
Well, I mean, technically, if they can tell you if you have a shred of Genghis Khan's DNA in you anywhere, I guess they can pick out a couple of markers that may identify as Irish. You know, the red hair, the fair skin.
Yeah.
You're already Irish enough. I can barely stand you, you're so Irish, I'm just saying.
Hey, I got other stuff in me.
And for that video... Yeah, I was mocking Dan about his Irishness not too long ago.
Oh, yeah?
Because, as a proper Scotsman, you are a step above the English.
Yes, but see, I'm Irish and Scottish.
Okay, then you're cool.
And German. And Italian. And Spanish. It's true. I'm Greek. It's actually where I get my nose from.
Greek?
I am, yeah.
So that's what happens when you delve too deep into the family line. It's like, well, I'm Scottish and Irish and German and Greek and Hispanic and black and,
Blue.
Hawaiian.
I am not Native American. However, I fixed that because my wife is half Mexican, which is basically Native American if you think about it. I mean,
Native
mixed
South
with,
American.
Yeah, mixed with, Spanish.
I mean, it's all good. There's Native Americans in Canada, and they're not Native Canadian Americans. They're just Native Americans.
Exactly. So anyway, on to the topic on hand, because of course all this brings us to Ninja Turtles, obviously.
Yeah, because green.
Exactly.
It's all about that green. And also, genetics, turtles mutated.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Exactly.
Got a little ham-fisted at the turn-off of the freeway, but yeah, pretty good.
And the Shredder, because what do you do on St. Patty's Day besides get drunk?
Corned beef and cabbage.
Exactly.
Shred that cabbage.
After you get drunk and do something stupid, what are you going to need? A lawyer. Like Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Who was the voice of the
Shredder
in the Turtles cartoon.
Exactly.
Whew! Whew, man. Fuck. 6 degrees of Ninja Turtles.
All from St. Patty's Day, bitches.
That's right. I'm not much of a drinker. He's not really a drinker. Occasionally pop open a bottle of sake, but even that's just for 1 or 2 shots, and that I don't even notice.
Yeah, I've never been drunk.
Not that I've been aware of. I mean, if you've never been drunk, how would you know? Maybe... I mean, you've never been falling down staggering stupid drunk, but, they say, like, buzz driving is drunk driving, so does that mean if you're buzzed, you're still drunk?
I guess. But what about a hangover? Because a hangover basically is you're still drunk when you wake up.
Well, drunk and in the middle of a rebellion.
Yeah.
As your entire body fights to tell you what an idiot you are.
Also related to Ninja Turtles, because as you throw up and you flush it, it goes down into the sewer.
Yeah.
Where the turtles live.
And when I think about wanting to vomit, I think about Vanilla Ice.
Who was in Ninja Turtles 2.
Although, I will say, at the time, I mean, we joke about Vanilla Ice now, But at the time, Vanilla Ice in a Ninja Turtles movie was like the peak of the 90s.
Yeah.
That was literally when the 90s roller coaster hit the top and started going downhill.
Yeah. It was
like Vanilla Ice, Ninja Turtles, boom,
yeah.
supernova of awesome. 90s started to suck from there.
Yep, culmination of all things converging together, and then afterwards we're still in the fallout of the explosion.
That's right.
AKA the new Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah. Well, let's start at the beginning. Ninja Turtles used to be a comic book. That's one of the things I like about the franchise. It started out as a comic book, and then it became a movie and a cartoon, and it grew and grew, and now it's this entire franchise of TV shows and movies and games and action figures and just action figures everywhere. Exactly. Star Trek Ninja Turtles, remember those?
Yeah,
that was weird.
Well, I was looking at some stuff for this episode. You know what I found? Recently in the comics, they teamed up with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah! I heard about that crossover for like 5 minutes, and then I didn't hear about anything, so I was like, oh, I guess I missed it. I gotta go find that.
Yeah.
IDW, as far as comic book companies go, they're really hitting the interesting stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not superheroes, but it's like old cartoon shows.
Yeah. Plus, for the life of me, I couldn't find it again, but while I was editing for another episode that we did, I discovered this really awesome picture of Casey Jones from one of the comics, and I cannot find that. He was wearing, SWAT gear. If anybody in the audience down below knows where I can find a picture or a download to the comic or something, let me know. But he was wearing, SWAT gear, and he had the, skull face paint on, and kind of like a Call of Duty mask. Don't give me any shit about that Nickelodeon cartoon, because
we're not even talking about this post-animated Turtles bullshit, alright? We're talking about people in suits. Ninja Turtles, the movie, right? Because in the cartoon before, a lot of it was parallel. Now it's just kind of dumb.
Yeah. So going back to the history really quick of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, do you like Daredevil? Me neither. But where it all started...
Hey. That's not cool.
Can't wait for the pirate Daredevil that will be coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh, that Affleck.
Sad to say, I'll probably be watching it, though. I mean...
How can you not?
It's on Netflix,
and it's official canon MCU.
Yeah.
It's right up there with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, everything else that Marvel's doing right that DC just can't seem to get their fingers around.
Yeah. Platinum Blonde Joker. Yeah.
Wow. And I thought Cesar Romero was gay. Hey-o! Alright.
So anyway, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is actually a parody of Daredevil.
Don't believe us?
Look in the parallels. If you know anything about Daredevil, he was trained by a ninja master named...
Even before that. He got his powers through radioactive waste being hit across his eyes. So the radioactive stuff hits him, all of a sudden, boom, superpowers. Turtles in the sewer, radioactive stuff hits them, all of a sudden, they're kind of people.
Yeah. Crab people, crab.
No, turtle. Taste like turtle, look like people.
Yeah. So anyway, as it progresses, they're trained by Master Splinter, the Ninja Turtles. Daredevil was trained by Master Stick.
Yes. Get the reference?
Yeah.
Splinter. Man, boy.
Daredevil, his main opponents are a ninja clan called the Hand.
The Hand.
That's right. The Ninja Turtles are, of course, up against the Foot.
Yeah.
Is there any reference to Shredder, really? Because I don't think that I can think of any, or was he actually fairly original?
Original-ish. I mean, he's an evil ninja. And I don't know who was running the Hand at that point, but maybe?
I don't know, but I've seen Shredder's armor in 70s, martial arts movies.
That's true.
I've actually seen it twice.
They could have pulled him out of any, chop-socky kung fu picture.
Yeah. It was either Ninja or Ninja 2, I do recall. Some guy was wearing armor that looked very reminiscent. Had the blades and stuff. Metal mask. Throwing star on his kabuka.
But still, that's kind of where it all started. Somebody read Daredevil and was like, I could do this better, I guess. Oh, also, both take place in New York.
That's true.
Daredevil roams the rooftops and fights high above, while the Ninja Turtles crawl around in the sewer and fight below.
Exactly.
It's all just tops and bottoms.
Yep. Who wants to be on top and who wants to be on bottom? Ninja Turtles. Case closed.
Yeah. But that's not the end of the...
No, that's not the end of the...
That's just the end of that particular thing.
Yeah. And basically what happened from there is that the comic book became mega popular, like runaway, like indie comics for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
To the point where it itself had its own parodies.
Yeah, that's...
Like the adolescent radioactive ninja or fighter hamsters or something like that.
Yeah.
There was like 4 or 5 different versions of it with like wombats and kangaroos and just parodies and goofy knockoffs.
Yeah. Although later Ninja Turtles became a parody of itself, but we'll get into that along the way. So
we'll talk about the decline at some point.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Ninja Turtles at the height of its popularity, it was picked up by, I think it was Fox.
New Line.
New Line, because the cartoon came out first.
Did it?
Yeah, the cartoons came out, and then they became like mega popular in cartoon media, and that's
that brings
what prompted...
up another thing I have to bitch about then when we get to the movie. But yeah, the cartoon was great.
Yeah, cartoon was awesome.
It's everything you would have wanted in an 80s/90s cartoon.
Yeah.
It was the action, the fun, the jokes, the stereotyping.
Yeah, the neutrinos, which were like the height of the 80s right there.
Pretty much every episode just had another thing that a toy was made of.
Yeah.
Like the turtle blimp.
Yeah.
Or the neutrinos flying car.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Never got any of that shit. I did get some Ninja Turtles, but you had to have some money to start getting all those accessories. I always wanted the... what's that thing? The dome, Technodome.
Oh, the Technodrome, yeah.
Technodrome.
I actually had one of those.
Yeah, that thing looked awesome. Yeah. But with an eyeball on it. And
the eyeball had like the periscope thing, but then when you pulled the handle down, the eyeball kind of detached and then rolled down a chute and like shot off somewhere.
Like you do.
Yeah, like it did on the show.
Yeah, so yeah, mega popular, spun off a bajillion toys being unleashed of whatever you can think of, any of that shit.
And also side franchises with Pizza Hut and stuff like that, because, to the point where Pizza Hut was giving away Ninja Turtle videos with their pizzas.
Oh, yeah. That starts coming in with the parody part, though, later on, because I remember some of the videos later were the Ninja Turtles on tour ones.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, there was actually a point where you could get, like, Ninja Turtle cartoon tapes. Just the actual cartoon, none of the creepy after... I actually saw that live tour that they did.
Yeah, I caught some of that. Added morbid curiosity.
God. I actually saw it live. I mean, that's how...
You couldn't look away.
I was in my chair, and at the time, I was like, Ninja Turtles, yay! Now, I'm just like, what the fuck? I noticed that a lot, though. I mean, like, well, when we get to Ninja Turtles 2, I got some shit to talk about, but, just stuff you don't notice when you're a kid, that once you're an adult, you look back and you're like, God damn it, this was stupid.
Yeah. So, anyway, with the comic at the height of popularity for people who liked indie comics, the cartoon at the height of popularity for children, obviously a movie was in the pipeline. So, that's when New Line Cinema picked it up, and, they made their first live-action movie.
Yeah, New Line. The accidental purveyors of some of the best comic book movies that no one ever realized were comic book movies. I mean, they did the whole Blade series.
Oh, yeah.
And, 90% of the people that love Blade had no idea it was a fucking comic book.
Yeah. I mean, there weren't any references, and there was no really such thing as the cinematic Marvel Universe at the time, so there's nothing really to tie in or really to draw attention to the fact that it wasn't attached to it or not.
It's just like, hey, here's this black guy who's killing vampires, and he may or may not be a vampire, too. That's badass. And everyone's like, okay, let's go see it. It's like Shaft with fangs.
Exactly, and an afro. And a purple suit.
Well, he kind of had that fade look going in the movie.
Yeah. Look up the original Blade.
But yeah, the Ninja Turtles movie. Man, I remember those days.
Yeah.
The good days. The all or nothing days.
Those days are unfortunately not back.
Yeah, unfortunately. Now everything's all CG and shit. I mean, it was like Ninja Turtles done with practical effects on the big screen. You know, people say, oh no, CG still looks real. Like, to a point, yes. But there's nothing quite like being the little kid in the theater who loves the Ninja Turtles, looking up at the screen and seeing an actual Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, seeing a person in a costume who's
it
really there.
It wasn't a person in a costume, it was the real Ninja Turtles, man. Remember? Back in the day, that's what it was. Now, it's a person in a suit.
Yeah,
but looking back at it,
yeah.
it was like, holy shit, there's an actual Ninja Turtle on the screen. How did they do that?
It's a little talking mouth.
Exactly. And the thing with the head going down into the shell, it was like, oh wow, that's so awesome.
I love being a turtle!
Now, going forward from there was what I would actually say was a better movie, despite the fact that Casey Jones wasn't in it, who's actually my favorite.
Let's spend another minute on the original movie before we jump ahead, because I mean, there's still good stuff to talk about there. I mean, like, the character interactions, it's like, okay, they're still essentially the same characters from the cartoon, but they're not quite as doofy and goofy. So you get Raphael, who actually, didn't he say shit at one point?
I think he might have, yeah. And he, I know he said damn. Remember that famous part where he screamed damn on the...
Damn!
Ninja kick the damn rabbit!
But yeah, I mean, like, he had an attitude. He was, overly aggressive.
Yeah.
Got into that big-ass fight with Casey Jones in the park.
Yeah, he was actually well acted, surprisingly.
Yeah, I mean, all the Turtles were really well handled.
Yeah.
They actually had some decent voice work. The animation was good.
Yeah.
It kind of suffered from that same thing that everything does when you have guys in suits, though. Like,
the mobility issues?
No, the never shutting up issue. I mean, it's another thing I noticed when I was watching Turtles 2. Every time the Turtles are on the screen, they're never just standing there quietly. They're always, ha, hoo, ha.
Yeah, they have to be... Yeah, as animated as possible.
Yeah, it's like they're all talking at the same time. And if you're listening carefully, you can pick out what each one's saying, but it's really just kind of like garbled small talk.
I don't know. It's almost like the Power Ranger...
yeah, the way they have to do this every time they talk, because you can't see their mouth move, so this is how you know I'm talking!
Yeah, that's how you act, yeah. Then do the boy stance afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
It's like, you, over there! Give me some coffee!
But yeah, I mean, like, the other thing, the Ninja Turtles from the original with the pizza delivery guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
122 and an eighth. Where is that? You're standing on it. Like, ah! So he puts the pizza down the thing, and the thing was like, you were late. He's like, but, because that's not really an address.
Yeah. So the Ninja Turtles are dirty liars.
Or possibly just manipulative cheats.
Yeah, but they are ninja.
Yeah, not like those dishonorable samurai.
Which was kind of... Yeah, another stupid thing, but yeah, that... Somewhere else.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, we'll deal with that.
But yeah, I also really like the fact that Raphael almost died in the first movie.
Yeah.
It's like he gets cornered by the Foot Clan on the roof, and he's fighting like 30 guys. He gets the shit kicked out of him. Spends the next 15, 20 minutes of the movie sitting in a bathtub, and they're like, is he ever going to wake up?
Yeah. Has, like, cracks in his shell and shit like that.
Yeah, which was another nice attention to detail. I mean, like, in later movies, he actually still had the cracked scars in his shell.
Well, at least in the second one. The third
I think they might have cleaned that up. But yeah, in the second movie, he actually had...
Yeah. The second movie, so... Here's the thing. Okay.
Oh, and Casey Jones is a dirty murderer. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
I was like...
oops.
Yeah, the Shredder falls 5 stories into the back of a garbage truck. Granted, if I were an assuming type, I would say 5 stories into the back of a trash truck means you're dead. But Casey Jones is like, he could be deader. Click, click. And then you see the helmet crush in under the thing, and then it's like, ooh.
Yeah, you really kind of got to wonder what Shredder actually looked like in the second movie, because you only saw, like, you know...
Yeah, you see the things on his nose and on his cheeks, and it's just like, whoa. I mean, granted, his head probably wasn't in the helmet when it got crushed, but still...
it couldn't have been, yeah.
he was still pretty fucked up, because apparently he got dumped in a garbage yard, and he'd been there a while.
Yeah. Probably eating rats while he was healing.
Mm-hmm. Because, they don't really talk about the general time frame between Ninja Turtles 1 and 2, but April had enough time to become a different person, get a new apartment, a really, really fucking nice apartment with a loft and everything in New York, and at the same time, it could have been a few weeks, it could have been a month, it could have been a week, maybe. But even then, the Foot Clan was still regathering at their little hideout. It's like, what the fuck was taking them so long? Is this like 2 days later? Has it been a week? Has it been a month? I would have liked to have a more descriptive time frame between the two.
Yeah.
But that's just more of a nitpick than anything.
Yeah.
It's the least nitpick I can do.
Yeah. So the one thing that was puzzling about the sequel, one of the things I liked about it was that it finally had evil mutants in it.
Yeah.
Which didn't have in the first one. The most puzzling thing was, why was it not Bebop and Rocksteady?
Yeah, that kind of goes back to one of the things I noticed, because I was watching it with Bridget earlier today. And so Tatsu and Shredder are chilling out talking, and he's like, these are the most vicious animals you could find. And Tatsu's like, yeah. Then again, Tatsu is not exactly a brain trust.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, the Central Park Zoo has some very impressive animals. A snapping turtle and a wolf, while they are good choices in theory, don't translate well, apparently, into mutation, because the hunting instinct and, all of the things that they would have naturally just kind of went out the window when they became giant mutants.
Yeah. Although it's possible when they matured that they could have, because they were babies, maybe they didn't quite have the...
Yeah, the scientist did admit that he actually made them to be kind of...
Yeah. Could you imagine if they were like the mutated alpha predators that that they could have been?
Oh my god, that would have been friggin' amazing. That would have led to another one of those gritty D-boots that, get people in trouble.
Yeah.
It was like halfway through the fight with Toka and Razar, they just rip one of the turtles in half, turn around and bite another one's head off. It's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, Toga just basically jumps into the sewer and tracks them through scent and then murders them in their sleep.
Yeah. And that's just one evil mutant. But yeah, Bebop and Rocksteady, they were the most popular characters in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Everybody loves those guys.
It's totally puzzling why they didn't go with them and they went with just two,
And even if not them, okay, by this point the cartoon's been going for a while.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mutation-based enemies and allies that could have been worked into Turtles 2.
Yeah. They've even set up, I don't know, did you watch the reboot, the Michael Bay movie?
No.
Well, they've set up like 4 characters already for that movie.
And Michael Bay can take his sequel-begging bullshit and stick it right up his ass.
Yeah.
Where he pulled the rest of this dumb shit movie from.
Yeah, I mean, Baxter Stockman was, as I recall, apparently one of the people in charge of creating the mutagen crap that eventually mutated the turtles.
That's funny. I just remember Baxter Stockman as a fly. Jeff Goldblum the fuck out of that thing.
Yeah.
This is how Brundlefly eats. Pussy.
There's an image.
Oh. God.
But yeah, second one was, I think, at the absolute positive height of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I was maybe like 9. I don't remember exactly what year that came out, but that was the first movie I'd seen in theaters like 4 times. I went with like 2 of my friends to see it. I think my mother took me, and I think my grandparents took me to see the movie.
And these days, being able to see a movie more than once in theaters is kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
Almost like people go see Guardians of the Galaxy 4 or 5 times, and it's like, hey, you know what? It's a good movie.
Yeah.
You watch that shit.
Not only that, movies are like 8 times more expensive these days than they were back in the 80s.
And don't get me started on the cost of concessions. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Popcorn and soda and hot dogs. Money, 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 money.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Ninja Turtles 2. It's like, they actually even managed to do what I kind of hate doing in movies. Because in the first movie, April O'Neil comes down to the sewer. She gets attacked by the Foot in the subway, and Raphael drags her back to the base, and Splinter explains her origins. Takes about 3-4 minutes. And it's just like, okay, well, here's the thing. Turtles, rat, goop, mutation, ninja. And it's like, oh, okay. But you don't need to do it again after that.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they get this new kid, who was actually
Donatello, I think.
one of the guys in the suits for the fight scenes.
Yeah.
Turtleception. But yeah, so he comes along, and they have to tell the origin story again. And I didn't mind, because it was just like, rat, turtles, goop, sewer, mutation, ninja. Like, oh, okay.
They could have just as easily just kind of cut to a scene where they were like, and that's how we became the Ninja Turtles. And he's like, oh.
That's kind of cheesy, though.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was a great movie. Another thing I loved about that movie was the Super Shredder. Because that was pretty awesome at the end. Because Shredder ended up getting blasted by a base.
He got blown out by a giant amplifier.
Yeah, and ended up, he was holding a vial of mutagen and it got spilled on him. Instead of turning into something else, he just turned into the Hulk.
Yeah, basically, like, apparently the way mutation works in the Turtles world, as I understood it from the cartoons and the movies and stuff, if I had a turtle right here, and I picked it up, and I had it, and I was holding on to it, and I was petting it, my skin cells would wind up on the turtle. So we hit it with the mutagen, all of a sudden, my human DNA and its turtle DNA kind of recombine, and all of a sudden, boom, giant turtle person.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's kind of how it works. I think, if anything, with the way that movie was going, the Shredder should have turned into some kind of horrifying chimera.
Yeah.
Because he'd been hanging out with Toka, Razar, he had been fighting the Turtles at that point. He was in a club full of people with all kinds of hair and skin and stuff. And
or at the very least, imagine if the metal would have, bonded.
Melted into him. That's not really mutation so much as it is horrible disfiguration.
Oh.
But, anything's possible in that kind of movie.
Okay, this is fucked up. I just thought of this. What if his clothes are made of wool? Or some sort of organic material? He comes out half sheep.
Comes out half sheep with a snapping turtle shell and a wolf face. I was like, oh my god, and they just lock him in a lab forever?
It's like the end of the second Fly movie.
Oh, god. This is how Brundle Shredder eats. Like, ugh. Put it away.
So that was the fuck all be all of Ninja Turtlehood right there. I mean,
that was the pinnacle of turtleness.
Yeah, if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a pyramid, it would have started with the comic book, moved up to the cartoon, moved up to the first movie, and then that would have been the center right there. Would have been Ninja Turtles 2.
Yeah, and then the other side would have just been a jagged pile of fucked up debris rapidly plummeting downhill. But yeah, I mean, as far as Ninja Turtles 2, the Predator thing, that was kind of an issue with me. I mean, now that I've watched it a second time, because now I know there is a zoo in Central Park. There's all kinds of shit in that zoo. They could have pulled any animals out of there, thrown them in their little cages and dumped mutagen on them, and it probably would have worked out better than the snapping turtle and the wolf.
Yeah. What a snake. I wonder how that would have worked, a human snake creature.
Well, probably would have had arms and legs, would have been huge, would have kind of been like one of the monsters from Anaconda.
Yeah.
Just gigantic snake with maybe arms and legs, maybe.
Maybe.
Or at least a human intellect.
Yeah.
Well, a kind of D human intellect.
Well, thanks to the scientists.
Yeah, thanks to science.
Yeah.
The scientists did that.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's Ninja Turtles 2, the movie, Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah. And the Secret of the Ooze was awesomeness. Because you know what? That was the thing that actually took the brand and the franchise even further. Because you know what we got? Hostess snack cakes. The Ninja Turtle snack cakes.
Oh,
with
the green stuff in.
Oh,
yeah, that was great.
Straight from the sewers to you.
Yep.
And you eat that shit up like it's 2 girls, 1 cup. I had to stop to think about how literal that was when I actually said it. Now I'm kind of just like, oh. We've got Catwoman, represented by me, and the Black Widow.
Represented by me truly.